There's a lot to think about whenever you're planning a big trip. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that you need to be thinking about in the planning stages before you arrive in Vietnam. So I'm going to help you navigate the visa process. We're going to talk about things that you need to pack and bring with you. I'm going to go over all the apps that you're going to want on your phone. And I'm also going to touch on travel insurance and SIM cards. So the visa process for tourists coming to Vietnam is pretty complicated, and honestly, it's a huge pain in the ass. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time, apply at least a few weeks in advance so you're ready to deal with any problems that might come up. It's really common for denials or them asking for updated information. It takes 3 or 4 days at least to process the visa, and if you have to update information, that processing period restarts, and they don't count weekends and holidays. So 2 or 3 revisions, and now you're looking at up to 3 weeks before your visa is approved. So just a couple quick tips. Make sure that you only apply from the official government website. Don't use any third-party people to help you. Make sure you triple check everything as best as possible, and just be prepared that it's probably going to come back with some errors at least once. I've got complete detailed guides on visas in my travel group you can check out if you're having any issues with visas. Now, when you're thinking about what to pack, there's a handful of items you're going to want to bring. Some of them are pretty difficult to find in Vietnam. So the first thing you want to bring is some kind of travel adapter. Vietnam actually uses 3 different types of outlets, and it varies around the country. So just bring a universal traveling adapter so you'll be able to charge everything. You're going to want to bring a light rain jacket no matter where you are in the country and what season it is. It's pretty common to have little showers here and there. Expect to get wet, bring a jacket. You're going to want to pack pretty much only light, breathable clothing. If you watch any of my videos, you'll notice that I only wear light t-shirts and a lot of thin jersey materials. You're going to be hot and sweaty all the time. Unless you're way up in the northern mountains of Vietnam during winter, you're not going to need anything heavy. But actually, clothes are widely available around the country and super cheap, so you'll be able to pick up anything extra that you need. Definitely bring a bottle of sun cream. Surprisingly, it's really hard to find sun cream here, and if you do, it's only in the touristy beach areas, and it comes at a steep price hike. Vietnamese people actually hate the sun. They avoid it at all times, and if they're out in the sun, they'll cover up from head to toe. So you rarely see sun cream in shops, and if you do, it's usually gonna have some kind of whitening agent in it, so you don't want that stuff. Definitely bring a bottle of mosquito spray. Again, you would think it'd be everywhere here, but it's pretty hard to come by and expensive. So bring some mosquito spray with you. There's mosquitoes everywhere. I don't want to be over dramatic and scare you away, but dengue fever is a thing. I've had it twice since I've lived in Vietnam, and it's not fun at all. You're going to need comfortable shoes or sandals. You're going to be walking around a lot. Again, it's hot outside, so I pretty much only wear sandals every single day, but just keep that in mind. You're going to be on your feet for a few hours every single day. Have something comfortable to wear. A good idea for any trip is a portable battery pack charger thing. Again, you're going to be doing a lot of day trips, out and about all day. It'd be nice to have something with you so you can charge up in case you need to. You might want to get some kind of fanny pack or bum bag, whatever you want to call it. Something that you can kind of strap to you tight, ideally in the front. Keep your phone, wallet, passport, and stuff in there. You're going to avoid anybody being able to rob you. That's not something that I would be worried about. It's super uncommon in Vietnam, but just better to be safe about it. Last thing is some kind of reusable water bottle. So you can buy water bottles, of course, anywhere, but you don't want to be buying 5 bottles of water a day. Most restaurants and hotels will have those big jugs of water that you can refill for free. So bring a reusable water bottle with you. If you're traveling to Vietnam anytime soon or at all interested in Vietnam, subscribe to the channel. I've got tons more videos about Vietnam. I've got a travel group where we share tons of information. I've got guides in there about food, hotels, coffee shops, visas. This planning guide that I'm talking about today is on there, so join the group. It's in the link below. I want to quickly talk about travel insurance. So travel insurance is not required to come to Vietnam, but there is a section on the visa application where it asks you if you have travel insurance or not. So even if you decide that you don't want to get travel insurance, definitely write something in that box. They're not going to check for proof of insurance, but make sure you fill it out no matter what, because the visa application might get sent back for that. Besides that, I definitely recommend getting travel insurance. I didn't have insurance for a long time. I found out the hard way. I had an accident about a month or 2 ago, ended up in the hospital for a few days. You won't regret getting some insurance, so you don't have to worry about it. I think the prices are pretty fair for what you get. I've got a couple of options that I can link below. You're gonna want a SIM card as soon as possible. So a lot of people will arrive at the airport and get a physical SIM card from one of the little stands in the airport. I actually don't recommend this. A lot of times they're scams. You're gonna pay for unlimited data for a month, and the SIM card is gonna stop working for you after 2 or 3 days. It happens all the time. So a pretty cheap and convenient way around this is to download an eSIM app. You don't need a physical SIM card at all. You can have it on your phone, paid for and ready to go as soon as you land. So you don't have to worry about talking with anybody at the airport. You can go outside, you can order your taxis to get to your hotel right away. Now I've researched a bunch of companies on this. The best one I found is called AirAllo. It uses the Viettel network, which is Vietnam's most reliable network. It's gonna cost you maybe $15, $20 and you're gonna be good for your entire trip. There's a handful of apps that you're gonna want downloaded and ready to go before you arrive. Number one is Grab. That's the only app that you need to use for getting around within cities. You never wanna take a metered taxi, always use Grab. It's like Uber and Lyft back home. You put in where you're going, a car's gonna show up in 5 minutes. The price is set so the driver can't run up the meter. And you can even attach your credit card beforehand so that you don't have to worry about exchanging money. I'm sure you've already got Google Maps, but one thing that I like to do is download the maps for offline use. Just in case for whatever reason you don't have data, you'll still be able to get around and you know where you're going. The next one is Google Translate. It's pretty obvious, but most people don't speak English. You're gonna need to use the app to translate and communicate with people. It's surprisingly effective and it's gonna get you out of some jams. There's an app called Bookaway that I like to use for booking buses and trains for shorter trips between cities in case you're not flying. It's pretty straightforward, easy to use. It'll show you a picture of the bus or the train room that you're renting. There's a similar app called 12Go Asia, but I've used Bookaway for years with no problem. There's another app called Klook. This is for tours and activities. So maybe you want to do Cu Chi tunnels in Saigon or a food tour in Hanoi. You can even book day trip cruises for Ha Long Bay or get tickets for things like Banai Hills and Da Nang. So check out Klook. You're gonna want a currency converter app. So there's a bunch of free ones you can choose from. Most of the time, menus and prices for things are gonna be in Vietnamese only. So it's nice to be able to easily calculate and see how much you're paying for things. It's gonna take you a few days to get used to the prices. So this will help you make sure you don't overpay for anything. The last two are WhatsApp and Zalo. So both of these are common messaging apps that people use. So just have both of them ready to go. You're gonna need this for communicating with your hotels, drivers, tour guides, things like that. If somebody asks you for your information, you can pull it up real quick. If you're coming to Vietnam, definitely join the travel group. You can talk to me directly in there. I'll help you with anything you need. For now, check out this video with 25 more tips about traveling in Vietnam. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.